Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense, making sense out of the senseless, only on shrmedia.com. Conservative media done right. This is the show where the spin dies screaming and the facts light the fuse. We do not... It's been a little bit, so bear with me. We do not tip around the truth. We are going to pretend, and we're not going to pretend that the left's insanity is just political difference. And we are not no, but holy shit, is this a rough opening already? It's been a little bit. If you guys don't know, I've been off for a little bit. And thank you for the follow, Samuel. I really appreciate it. And we are at 635 subs. A big difference from when I had to take a break. I had a lot of construction going on at my house, and all the furniture went into this room. But no, it is a coordinated deception, and tonight we'll rip the mask off. I'm your host, and tonight we're diving headfirst into a tidal wave of cover-ups, collusion, and chaos. From New Jersey's governor race, rocked by a National Archive leak, to Virginia's attorney general race blown open by violent texts, and more broke out today. To a standoff, or I should say a shutdown standoff, that shows exactly how the game is played in Washington. We'll expose how Democrats use bureaucracy as a weapon, how their own scandals get whitewashed by corporate media, and how the people are catching on, finally pushing back against the decades of corruption. But before we go any further, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and share this stream like your freedom depends on it, because it just might. Every click helps us punch through big tech censorship, drowns out the media noise, and makes sure common sense has a fighting chance. This is the Reaver of Common Sense, where the truth lives and the nonsense dies screaming. I'm going to play something before we get going. In honor of Chuck Schumer, this is for you.
Nobody expects the Schumer! The Schumer shutdown, watch the show. The Schumer shutdown, watch them go. They'll never compromise, they'll never deal. They'd rather pad the budget with waste they conceal. The Schumer shutdown, ain't it dumb? The Schumer shutdown, here they come. Instead of keeping goat open wide, they'd rather stuff pork and then point to our side. No clemency or no common sense, just trillions wasted at our expense. Blame Republicans day and night, while Dems are the reason your checks aren't right. The Schumer shutdown, it's their game. The Schumer shutdown, who's to blame? They shut it down with a grin so wide, and blame the GOP for the mess they hide.
And if you want to hear the rest of that, just go to onto YouTube, go to shrmedia.com, and you can find that. And what's the other one? Let It Close, Let It Close. And if anybody knows the parody I'm using that off of, sound out on YouTube, X, any of the social media. Let me know what your guess is for the parody. So we're going to start out. The Democrat created this healthcare crisis, and now they're crying about it. I heard tonight on the Senate floor how many Democrats screaming this is a Republican-made healthcare mess. But now the Democrats are panicking, I think, screaming that healthcare insurance premiums are about to skyrocket. They're suddenly acting like victims of their own system, clutching their pearls as if some new Republican bill is coming to destroy healthcare. But let's get one thing straight. This isn't Trump's fault. It's not Congress's fault. And it's not the Supreme Court's fault. This is because, and understand this, when they scream that your premiums are going to go up, it is because the temporary 2021 Biden era COVID subsidies, those enhanced ACA tax credits, are set to expire, that the Democrats voted for these subsidies. The Democrats put in this expiration date. These were never permanent. They were political bubblegum used to patch a crumbling wall, slapped on to hide the rot that's been spreading ever since Obamacare became law. So when they're screaming that, oh, the premiums are going to go to $500, $600, $900 a month, $1,000 a month, that's Obamacare. What the subsidies is going to do, or what this expiration of subsidies is going to do, is send the payments back to what they were before COVID. Nothing more, nothing less. And the last time I checked, the Democrats are the ones that voted for, pushed through, rammed down our throats, fined us for not buying it, Obamacare, also known as the Affordable Care Act. I want to give a shout out to the chat room. Thank you, Big E, the Phantom, and Zackhead Sean. They are all in the chat room. If you want to join in, whether you want to tell me to go fuck myself, tell me you agree, disagree, tell me you want me to get a raise, get fired, whatever, go to YouTube, go to SHR Media, and join the chat. So, this is a Democrat problem. Democrats are the ones that pass the subsidies. Democrats are the ones that pass the expiration date. And now they're freaking out and trying to blame Republicans for their fault. They're trying to blame them for the mess that Obamacare is. They were warned by the Republicans this would happen. They were warned about the cost, that it was not going to make healthcare cheaper. This is a Democrat mess, and they're trying to hide it. Period. I should be able to end this segment right there. But there's too many people that are buying into the bullshit, which scares me. But even some of the left stream media is starting to call out the Democrats on this. I know they're calling them out somewhat on the illegals with free Medicaid. We all know it's there because we've seen the states time after time posting that they're offering free health care through Medicaid managed health care. Well, the state's paying for it. Understand this. Okay, the state may be writing a check, but then they're not able to afford other programs for U.S. citizens, which means that they are taking federal money. Thank you, Sam Simply. I think it's 127. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. We're not playing the asshole game. No, we're not. This is 100% Democrat issue. Schumer knows it as much as Schumer knows this is the Schumer shutdown. They bragged about it. They screamed about it. They told you they were going to do it. And now that they've done it, it's a Republican shutdown. Who's voting to keep the CR that the Democrats have passed? What is it, 15 times now under Biden? And now all of a sudden they can't vote for it for 2 weeks. Roughly, what is it, 2 weeks or 2 months? Either way, it's a very short-term budget. And the Democrats want to add $1.5 trillion to it for a 2-month budget. The Democrats can't scream, they hate you enough. It blows my mind at how little they think of the American people. And that's what it is. That's how little they think of you. They don't think you're smart enough to research or even know that these subsidies were designed to disappear. that we're not entering a new territory. We just go back to the exact same Obamacare system we had from 2014 to 2021. You remember that one, the Affordable Care Act that made healthcare anything but affordable. Premiums doubled. Deductibles shot through the roof. Small businesses dropped coverages. And entire counties were left with one provider. One. Thanks to competition. Think about that. Thanks to competition that Washington promised would lower costs. This was the grand Democratic plan. The same people who told you, if you like your plan, you can keep it. If you like your doctor, you can keep him. Good evening, BZ. Glad to have you here. Now, they now want you to forget that they gutted the system, replaced it with government-approved plans that cost more, cover less, and punished you for daring to buy your own. They built this mess, called it progress, and now that bill is coming due, literally the bill is coming due, and they're pretending someone else did it. I've seen 5-year-olds take more responsibility for what they do than the Democrats. If Obamacare actually worked, we wouldn't need temporary subsidies every election cycle just to keep people from revolting at their premiums. If it worked, the middle class wouldn't need Washington handouts to afford what used to be a basic family policy. And if it worked, hospitals wouldn't be closing, insurers wouldn't be pulling out, and doctors wouldn't be leaving private practices in droves because of federal red tape. This is what happens when government takes over industry, prices skyrocket up, quality goes down, and accountability disappears. Bureaucrats dictate coverage, and patients get stuck with the bill. Democrats are now screaming, crying, and premiums will rise 75% or more, as if it's something new. No, that's just their law reverting to its natural state. But they don't have the balls to come out and say, this is Obamacare. This is what we voted for. This is what we pushed through in the middle of the night. This is what we closed down the government for. Remember, they shut the government down too back then. And who did they blame? Who did they blame? Oh, I still got that up. Whoops. Who did they blame? The Republicans. And the best I saw today was the Chicago mayor coming out and saying that the Republicans are trying to start a civil war. Who's the one that's getting violent? Who's the ones going around murdering people? Who's the one going around shooting people? If Republicans wanted to start a civil war, it would have been started, it would have been over, and the Democrat Party would be nothing. This is not a call for violence. I have said plenty of times on the show, I am not for it. I don't want to see it. But again, the Democrats are showing something. When they're doing something, they'll point the finger everywhere else. Yeah, exactly, Sean. Who is the ones trying to say federal agents can't enforce federal laws? Sorry, I had to do that, bud. It's time and time again we see it. Obamacare has been a disaster since day one. If you got to force people to buy it, if you have to make a law that fines you for not buying it, that should have told them everything. This wasn't because of bad optics, bad press. It's because people are smarter. I just something in chat just popped in and kind of caught me off guard. The real solution isn't another subsidy, another bailout, or another Band-Aid. The real solution is repeal the ACA, tear out the bureaucratic middleman, restore free market competition, go back to a system where insurance companies fought for your business, not government favors. Yeah. Spot on, Sean. Democrats are freaking out. They're losing power. They are losing it. And they know they are. They're a 17% approval rating, and it's not going up. We need to open up competition across state lines. Remember when doctors answered to patients, not Washington? My doctor right now doesn't treat me by the textbook of the medical book. He's treating me by what the insurance tells him to do. Yeah, BZ, I got to get to the barber and get it cut and shave. I kind of slept in today. But I'm serious. I have my doctor going, well, insurance tells me I have to. What? Wasn't medically necessary, some of that stuff, but insurance told him he had to. Democrats thought they were going to be in power for a long, long time. Their arrogance told them that they would be in power. So let's make a plan that's going to destroy the healthcare system. And then we're going to swoop in and we're going to create a government-run Medicare for all. We'll control everything, give it to the masses. I know some people are like, oh, free healthcare, that would be great. No. Perfect case. And it's very, very common in Canada. Guy injured at his knee. Went to the doctor. Doctor said, we need to get you an MRI and CAT scan because you're going to need surgery. Looks like you tore an ACL. It is a 2-year wait for a CAT scan. Another 2-year wait for the MRI. And then it'll be like another 2 years after that to get surgery. And how much more damage is going to be done even in that 4-year waiting? And that is not uncommon. I've known people, Canadians come down to Tampa, Florida in droves. I know a lot of them, they love getting health care here. Yes, they have to pay for it, but they actually get in and see a doctor. They get something done. They're not waiting forever. So the next time you hear Democrats screaming about the healthcare prices are rising, what they're actually saying is Obamacare is a huge failure and it's failing the people. That is exactly what they're telling you. And we're just getting started, folks. More truth, more hypocrisy exposed, and a lot more fire coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere. This is the Reaver of Common Sense. And we're not done yet. Oh, no.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Are you looking for a way to boldly express your faith and love for your country? And check out Seven Armors, the premier apparel company for patriotic men of God, where faith meets freedom in style. Our t-shirts are more than just clothing, they're statements. Bold, stylish, and meaningful. From timeless messages to modern designs, we've got something for every patriotic man of God. Wear your beliefs proudly with 7 Armor's gear. Don't miss the chance to wear your faith and freedom on your sleeve. Visit 7armors.com today and join the movement. That's the number 7armors.com.
Come listen to BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show. Live on select and exclusive Tuesday and Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Rumble channel, SHR Media YouTube channel, X, Twitch, Spreaker, and wherever great conservative podcasts are found. BZ, your conservative Sherpa, guides you through the maelstrom of Democrat, leftist, and globalist lies, chaos, deceit, and betrayal. Raised as a free-range child with dirt, stains, mud, and freedom, BZ broadcasts from North Idaho, comfortably surrounded by actual normal people. Jump into our plush, sumptuous, palatial, and resplendent chat room on rumble.com. Click on live chat to join. Now, with 37% more umbrage and 19% more bulbosity than previous shows, featuring delicious Liberty additives for the best in late-night conservatarian talk radio. BZ reminds you that with great beard comes great responsibility. No chinchillas were harmed, embarrassed, fat-shamed, or the focus of any sarcasm whatsoever in the making of this ad.
Freedom. One nation in all of human history was built on that bedrock. Ours. A republic of the people, by the people, and for the people. Self-government requires freedom, just as freedom requires an individual willingness to self-govern. Freedom has made America exceptional. But it can only last as long as you and I seek the good, as expressed by the laws of nature and nature's God. It can only last if you and I choose to act as people of character. Forging character has been the pursuit of Hillsdale College since 1844.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. I'm here to make sense out of the senseless right here on shrmedia.com. Before we go any further, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and share the stream like your freedom depends on it. Because it just might. Every click helps us punch through big tech censorship, drown out the media noise, and make sure common sense has a fighting chance. This is the Reaver of Common Sense, where truth lives and the nonsense dies screaming. All right, this is a new thing I did, and we're going to go through it. It's, let me just pop it up. That's the best thing I could do. All right, let me do away. There we go. Can we do that? Let me remove some real quick. There we go. Left-aligned political violence in America. We're going to stroll down memory lane through 1998 to 2025. And after the show, if you go to SHR Media on YouTube, there'll be a full video on this. We're going to go over this real quick. And we're going to understand the scope. This presentation examines documented incidents of left-aligned political violence spanning nearly 3 decades. Eco-terrorism in the late 1990s to recent targeted attacks. The data reveals a troubling trajectory from property damage to direct threats against individuals and institutions, highlighting the need for comprehensive understanding and response. Some of the early examples were environmental extremists, Earth Liberation Front, They targeted SUV lots and housing developments across the Pacific Northwest, Colorado, and Midwest during 1998 to 2008. Animal Libertation Front sabotaged operations against university laboratories and research facilities as part of Operation Backfire. Sounds like a bad night at Taco Bell. Then August 9th through November 2024, we have the Ferguson riots. The shooting of Michael Brown sparked the hands up, don't shoot lie, leading to widespread riots in Ferguson, Missouri. This unrest includes arson, looting, and violent clashes with the National Guard, marking a pivotal moment in modern civil unrest. People in the chat are arguing over the crowns. I also want to thank Canadian Heavy Hauler for being here, and everybody else that I've already named that are in chat. I appreciate it. The rise of Antifa violence started in Sacramento riots about June 26, 2016. Antifa and ban counter protest engaged in riots and sabotage or stabbings during a white national rally. The Berkeley fires in February 1st of 2017. Berkeley violence, August 27, 2017. Street fights, vandalism emptied during the Rally Against Hate event. Understand, let me go back. Rally Against Hate, and they went and counter protested it and caused violence. Think about that. Portland became a battleground. Portland, Oregon became a focus point for violent confrontation between opposing groups. On August 17, 2019, Antifa counter-protest clashed with Proud Boys in street brawls involving chemical attacks. This pattern of violence would escalate dramatically in the following years, with Portland experiencing some of the most sustained civil unrest in recent American history. Think about this. The shit that's been going on in Portland goes all the way back, before 2019. And the Democrats are freaking out about trying to end the violence that's going on there. Think about being a resident in that area, having to deal with that. You have people that can't drive down streets, and police are stopping you from going down. You can live on that street, and you're not allowed to go down there because Antifa's down there. We hear that all the time because Democrats don't have the balls to stand up and accept what they did. They don't. $2 billion. That's the estimated damage from the George Floyd riots that began on May 25th, 2020, spreading to over 2,000 cities nationwide. $2 billion. And what do we hear from the left? January 6th, January 6th, January 6th. How many examples have I given already? And I haven't even started. The George Floyd riot beginning on May 25th, 2020 and extending into 2021. The death of George Floyd sparked the largest civil unrest in American history. BLM protest, joined by anarchist and Antifa elements, engaged in a widespread arson, assault, and looting. The riot spread from Minneapolis to over 2,000 cities across the nation, resulting in billions in property damage and fundamentally altered the American political landscape. Does anybody remember Democrats? What is it, in the rotunda? All kneeling? They go back even, not in the United States, but I know in some countries, I have read that they're banned. They're a terrorist organization, they're labeled as. Targeted political violence. I'm not even going to try saying the guy's name. I'm going to butcher it. But Michael Antifa supporter murdered Aaron J. Danielson, a Patriot Prayer member in Portland, Oregon. Antifa murdered somebody. Cold blood. Yeah, Sean, there was no conversations back then about both sides. Rioters and agitators vandalized the CNN Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Assault on democracy. BLM protesters and agitators brought riots and fires to the national capital, targeting areas near the White House and Lafayette Square. This unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy represented a dangerous escalation in political violence. But what do we hear from the left? January 6th. It's their go-to. Chaz Chop Lawless Zone. Seattle's Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, later renamed Capitol Hill Organized Protest, represented an unprecedented takeover of American territories. Armed occupiers established an autonomous zone that experienced 2 shootings and multiple fatalities before any authorities intervened. They took over a fucking police station. They took over a police station. And nothing was done. Urban warfare spreads. New York City, widespread looting and property destruction throughout June 2020, targeting retail districts and commercial areas. Chicago, Los Angeles, the list goes on and on. But you know, you don't see major rioting of that magnitude happening. Florida, Texas. Portland under siege from July 2020 to 2021. Portland experienced nightly riots, courthouse attacked by Antifa and anti-Christ groups. For over a year, federal buildings were reportedly targeted with explosives, fires, and coordinated assaults, requiring federal intervention to protect government property and personnel. Take it easy, Canada Heavy Haul. I was glad you were here, and have a great day tomorrow. Be safe. Threats against leadership. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem has faced credible death threats and harassment that has forced her to relocate twice. Federal security agencies became involved to the severity and persistence of the threat, highlighting the personal dangers faced by conservative political figures. But it's both sides. Inauguration Day violence, June 20th, 2021. While the nation focused on the presidential inauguration, Antifa protesters engaged in vandalism and violence in Seattle, Portland. Multiple arrests were made as protesters targeted government buildings and businesses in coordinating attacks. And you wonder why Trump's sending federal law enforcement and National Guard to Portland to protect federal property. How many billions of taxpayer dollars has been spent because of Antifa destruction? Supreme Court even is under attack. A gentleman attempted to assassinate Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh outside his home in Maryland. And who egged that on? That would have been Schumer. We had a presidential assassination attempt. Not once, but twice. The first time, we all know Trump was shot and it clipped his ear. Anthony, what's lies? No, they weren't. What is lies? What of this is lies? Because this is all facts. This is all what's out there. None of them were our boys. That's the problem. You're going to come in here and lies, lies, lies. Yeah, it's easy to say it. It's very difficult to back it up. Corporate terrorism. Brian Thomas, CEO of United Healthcare in New York City, was murdered in broad daylight. I'm not making shit up. This is all in the news. This is all facts. You can sit there and say it's made up. You look like a fucking idiot. You look like you're retarded by making statements like that. That's the funny part. You look like a retard. I don't understand idiots that come in and it's lies. It's all lies. What's lies? It's all lies. You're making shit up. Making what up? Let me guess. You don't think there's a real thing called Antifa? School violence escalated. 15-year-old student opened fire at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin, killing 2 and injuring 6. The attack occurred on a church campus, targeting both educational and religious institution in a singular act of violence. In 2025, violence intensifies. 8 major incidents. Documented attacks in the first 10 months of 2025. 15 fatalities. Anti-Semitic terror. Two Israel embassy staff members were murdered while the suspect was shouting, "Free Palestine." You don't have to buy it. You can keep listening to CNN. The facts are the facts. It is leftism. It is those on the left. ICE facility under attack. June 4th, 2025. Anti-ICE militants, numbering 15 to 16 suspects, attacked Alvarado ICE facility in Texas with fireworks, gunfire, wounding an officer. The Independence Day timing of this assault on federal immigration enforcement was particularly symbolic. Churches under fire. Richmond Road Baptist, July 13, 2025. Annunciation Church, August 27, 2025. Unidentified attacker killed 2 children, injuring 21 during a school massacre in Minnesota. LDS Church, 4 dead, 8 injured. Political assassination. That idiot assassinated Charlie Kirk during a Turning Point USA event in Orem, Utah. And what was Charlie Kirk's big thing he did wrong? Wanted to have conversations, wanted to have debate. Sniper attack on federal facilities. Joshua Johns conducted a sniper attack at an ICE facility in Dallas, Texas, killing 2 detainees and injuring 1. This precision attack on federal immigration enforcement represents a new level of tactical sophistication and anti-government violence. The return of the Los Angeles riots. BLM and Antifa protesters. Ongoing federal confrontations, Chicago Broadview, Portland Federal Court. Those were just within the last several days. Geographical distribution. Left aligned political violence has spread across the entire United States, from major metropolitan areas to smaller city towns. No region has been immune to this escalating pattern of ideological extremism. From the West Coast, Portland, Seattle, Los Angeles, Berkeley have been primary centers of sustained violence. Midwest, Minneapolis, Chicago, Ferguson, Madison have experienced significant incidents. East Coast, Washington, D.C., New York City, Atlanta have faced targeted attacks. That one's pretty much self-explanatory coming up. Target analysis. Well, I'm going to jump through the next couple. Like I said, if you want to really sit through this, it will be available on SHR Media YouTube coming up after the show. Over 30 lives have been lost, $2 billion over in property damage, 2,000 plus cities affected. Here's a small list of an overview, I should say, of events over the last several decades. I guess Anthony couldn't back up his statements. Besides, you're lying. All right. Again, we're just getting started. We got one more segment to go, folks. More truth, more hypocrisy exposed, and a lot more fire coming up after the break. Don't go away. This is the Reaver of Common Sense, and we're not done yet.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Are you looking for a way to boldly express your faith and love for your country? And check out Seven Armors, the premier apparel company for patriotic men of God, where faith meets freedom in style. Our t-shirts are more than just clothing, they're statements. Bold, stylish, and meaningful. From timeless messages to modern designs, we've got something for every patriotic man of God. Wear your beliefs proudly with Seven Armors gear. Don't miss the chance to wear your faith and freedom on your sleeve. Visit 7armors.com today and join the movement. That's the number 7armors.com.
Come listen to BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show. Live on select and exclusive Tuesday and Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Rumble channel, SHR Media YouTube channel, X, Twitch, Spreaker, and wherever great conservative podcasts are found. BZ, your conservative Sherpa, guides you through the maelstrom of Democrat, leftist, and globalist lies, chaos, deceit, and betrayal. Raised as a free-range child with dirt, stains, mud, and freedom, BZ broadcasts from North Idaho, comfortably surrounded by actual normal people. Jump into our plush, sumptuous, palatial, and resplendent chat room on rumble.com. Click on live chat to join. Now, with 37% more umbrage and 19% more bulbosity than previous shows, featuring delicious Liberty additives for the best in late-night conservatarian talk radio. BZ reminds you that with great beard comes great responsibility. No chinchillas were harmed, embarrassed, fat-shamed, or the focus of any sarcasm whatsoever in the making of this ad.
Freedom. One nation in all of human history was built on that bedrock. Ours. A republic of the people, by the people, and for the people. Self-government requires freedom, just as freedom requires an individual willingness to self-govern. Freedom has made America exceptional. But it can only last as long as you and I seek the good, as expressed by the laws of nature and nature's God. It can only last if if you and I choose to act as people of character. Forging character has been the pursuit of Hillsdale College since 1844.
Welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless right here on SHR Media. Oh, yeah, it's good to be back. But before we go any further, hit that like button, smash, subscribe, and share this stream like your freedom depends on it, because it just might. Every click helps us punch through big tech censorship, drowns out the media noise, and make sure common sense has a fighting chance. This is the Reaver of Common Sense, where truth lives and the nonsense dies screaming. Yeah, I don't know why it was brought up to me. The commercial, for some reason, was bringing up my theme song with it, and I don't know why. And BZ, you're absolutely, or Big E, you're absolutely right. And it is the Trust Me Bros. They'll be the first ones that'll attack Fox News. And you're going, you guys stop watching Fox News. But I am stuck in front of CNN and MSNBC. I gotta watch it. If you're going to disagree with me, but bring facts at least. Bring some information. And yes, we are at 6:35, people. It's been a long journey, but it's been fun. All right. Thank you, Sean. I got everybody telling me your music was crushing it. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I when we changed some things up with the software, and when we did that, it pretty much wiped out everything that I had set up. So I had to go looking for the intros and the commercials, and for some reason that one was the one I chose, and it was in there, and I don't know if I was messing with it, playing around or what, and I didn't recognize it because I was doing so much. I honestly didn't listen through it, so that's my bad, people. I apologize. My bad. So if Anthony didn't like the last segment, I guess he's not going to like and call me a liar on Virginia's AG firestorm, Jay Jones' violent text, and how the Democrats are backing, and by backing this guy, they are backing the violence that he's calling for. And we're finding out this isn't the only time this guy's called for violence against things that he disagreed with. But this story should have stopped the nation cold. But instead, the media tried to muffle it. In Virginia, Democrat and Attorney General nominee Jay Jones is apologizing for a series of 2022 text messages where he said then House Speaker Todd Gilbert deserved 2 bullets to the head. Let that sink in, because that is technically a felony. And this wasn't a drunken rant on a live mic. It was written, saved, and now exposed under Virginia Code 18.2-60. This isn't just poor judgment. It meets the legal definition of a Class 6 felony. That statute makes it a felony. That statute, again, Virginia Code 18.2-60. The statute makes it a felony for anyone who knowingly sends a written or electronic threat to kill or do bodily injury to another person, including through text or social media, if that threat places the person or their family in reasonable fear of death or harm. In other words, what Jay Jones did isn't merely unethical, it's criminal. And let me guess, it's a lie that he is a Democrat. I guess it's a lie that he called for violence. The outrage has been loud, but not merely loud enough. Republicans, even some Democrats, have condoned it. Governor Glenn Youngkin called for him to drop out. The Republican Attorney General Association echoed it. Jones says he's ashamed and embarrassed, but that's not enough. Because the real question isn't whether he regrets it. It's why the Democrat Party ever chose someone like this to begin with. And now it comes out, and I'm paraphrasing. I don't have the exact statement in front of me, so forgive me if it's not spot on. But he was calling for the murder of police officers because he had said that is the only way through personal tragedy people will change basically their political view. So he's called for the murder of his political opponent, the murder of his political opponent's children in front of the mother, that he would piss on the grave, and then he called for the death of officers. You know your political message is wrong when you need violence to back it up. So, Sean, you're saying you're number two? This is the same party that lectures America about hate speech, political violence, and unity. And you've seen the facts of all the violence that the left has been doing for the last, 30 years. They smeared conservatives for saying mean tweets. Yet when one of their own fantasizes about shooting a Republican official, suddenly it's a mistake from the past. Virginia Beach Democrat Party is still endorsing and backing this guy. That's endorsing and backing his message. Now I got leg sweeps going on in the chat room. Karate Kid. Now they're Sackhead Sean and BZ are going to team up against the Phantom. Oh, Lord. I'm staying out of this one. And let's not forget the timing. This comes right after left-wing extremists murdered a conservative political pundit. You know what the Democrats are more upset about? That they're being exposed, not the message, that the message got exposed. How many times have we seen that? They're not upset that Charlie Kirk got killed. They're upset that the blame is being put on them, rightfully so. They're not upset that people got killed at a ICE detention center and that the person was trying to kill law enforcement. They're upset that the motives got exposed. That's what they're upset about, people. They're not upset of what this candidate for the Democrat Party, Attorney General of Virginia, said. They're upset that it got exposed. But if they actually acknowledged it, it would mean admitting the violence isn't coming from the right. It is being excited and justified by the left's own culture of hate. J. Jones' texts aren't just bad judgment. They're a window into what the modern Democrat Party has become. Angry, intolerant, perfectly comfortable with violence when it targets their opponent. And I don't care who or what is doing the violence. I do not approve of it. There's easier, better ways to go about it. Because the only thing that violence does is silence speech, silences debate. I think I could talk for all of us here at SHR Media. Zach and Sean, BZ, Big E, all of our I don't want to call them fans, our faithful that watch this show, that join in the chat, join in the conversation, they feel the same way. We don't want violence because it stifles speech. It stifles debate. And that's what we need. The Reaver Army. All right, everybody. It's getting that time. I also have to give a shout out, and I'll do it again in a couple of minutes. Coming up in about an hour, you have Sackhead Sean, the host of Edge of Liberty. And that'll be 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be in chat. I'm sure BZ will be in chat. I think Earl, Phantom, and so much more will be in chat. I didn't even get to... I got 2 segments out of all I did. But yet, also, don't forget to go to YouTube, SHR Media, and look for that left line violence video that will be going live in about 15, 20 minutes as soon as I get off air and I click for it to go live. And what we saw tonight, from the Shutdown Theater to the political blackmail behind it, provides one thing. Washington does not fear the people's anger. They fear the people's awareness. Once America sees through the media fog and bureaucratic lies, the entire game falls apart. And when that happens, the balance of power shifts. And the one thing the Democrats got to get through their heads: screaming you're lying, screaming you're racist, you're a xenophobe, you're homophobic, and all the other name calling, the Nazi and the Hitler and all that doesn't work anymore. You overplayed it. When you scream, it's the end of democracy, we're not buying it anymore. You've went to that well 1 million times too many. And when that happens, the balance of power shifts, not in Congress, but in the hearts of the citizens who finally realize they are the ultimate check on government. It's the moment when outrage turns into organization, when frustration becomes focus, and when apartheid gives way to accountability. That's why we hold the line, not with violence, not with rage, but with truth, exposure, and relentless resistance to their propaganda. Every fact we share, every lie we expose, weakens their grip. So hit that like, smash subscribe, share the stream like your freedom depends on it, because it just might. Every share helps us punch through the algorithm, shut down media lies, and keep the signal strong. This has been the Reaver of Common Sense, where truth lives, the spin dies screaming, and nonsense burns to ash. Want more? BZ Berserk Bobcat Saloon every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, Edge of Liberty coming up in about an hour with Sackhead Sean Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mission Ready Men with Big E Jackson every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, noon on the East Coast. And of course, Reaver of Common Sense with myself Monday and Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night, Patriots. Stay loud, stay sharp, and stay dangerous.